Now, the White House's new $100 billion tariff threat that Bob mentioned adds to the already heightened tensions between the world's two largest economies. Kayla Tausche is following the story for us tonight from Washington.
It started Monday with China hitting back on steel and aluminum tariffs, escalating throughout the week. U.S. and China matching each other's $50 billion tariff threats before President Trump added the potential for another $100 billion. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said this isn't a trade war yet.
Right now, we've initiated a plan. The tariffs will take some period of time to go into effect. There'll be public comments. So while we're in the period before the tariffs go on, we'll continue to have discussions. But there is the potential of a trade war.
Mnuchin says a trade war is not the objective, but President Trump has been clear with President Xi that he would defend the U.S. interest for free and fair trade. The two leaders, he said, have a great relationship. The two countries still working on a resolution.
On the one hand, we absolutely are willing to negotiate and not get into trade wars. But on the other hand, the president is perfectly willing to defend interest. So this is a very clear strategy.
But what's clear to markets is that this is far from over. $150 billion represents a third of China's exports to the U.S. Goldman Sachs told clients China could move past tariffs to something more painful, devaluing its currency, selling treasuries, or further limiting U.S. company access. Farmers and manufacturers worry their businesses will suffer while they wait for a deal. Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell said that could change economic outlook down the road.
We did hear from a number of business leaders around the country that changes in trade policy had become a bit of a risk to the medium-term outlook.
It's hard for observers, including former Commerce Secretary Carlos Gutierrez, to see the end game.
This looks like a poker game. I'll see your 50 and I'll raise you 100. It just seemed like this was just escalating at a pace that no one expected. I don't know how the president will declare victory, which is so important to him because taking on China has been one of his signature issues.
President Trump's economic advisors defend his willingness to take action no prior president has. But in doing so, he's also raised the stakes higher than they've ever been. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Kayla Tausche in Washington.